Hello, Cancer, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of July 5th through the 11th. And during that time, we have a waning gibbous moon, and that starts us off in the week. That's a good time for self-reflection and rebirth, making positive changes and growing, working on those things that we started during the new moon. We then have the third quarter moon, and that's kind of a time when those things start to come to fruition. We're starting to wrap things up and just kind of getting to our full potential when it comes to that third quarter. And then after that is the waning crescent. And that is a very calm time for us to look around and think about these things that we've been working on for the past cycle. And do we want to make adjustments or changes or start something new when it comes to the new moon next week? So please keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Cancer. So as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't here on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this reading is that your hard work is paying off. So isn't that great? So whatever things you've been working on, it looks like they are paying off. And that's always good to have things work out and come to fruition, right? Okay, as I'm shuffling the tarot, my fun weekly reminder this week is that you try to take a little bit of time each day to meditate. Now, if you can do, just 5 or 10 minutes, trying to add that to your day, which I believe me, I know it can be hard for some of us. It is hard for me too. I have to really focus on that. Once I get into the habit, it seems to be a little bit easier. But if you can take 5 to 10 minutes, if you can take longer, that's even better. Or if you just do it a couple of times a week where you just really set yourself, a good 45 minutes to an hour to just meditate. But try to work that into your routine a little bit this week. See where you can work on that. It's just go within and explore and see what's in there. So that is my fun weekly reminder for you, Cancer, for the week. All right, let's get these cards shuffled here and get into this reading. We've got Cancer, July 5th through the 11th. Your hard work is paying off. Present energy, the King of Pentacles. Well, yeah, your hard work's paying off. It looks like it's paying off materially, financially. You're the king of it, right? You've got it going on. This means this is when your bank account's full and the house is in order and it's just everything's great around you. So that's definitely King of Pentacles is just a really good energy for that sort of thing, just being on top of things. So if that's something you've been working on, it's starting to pay off for you. Your current situation is that even though this is paying off for you, you're feeling a little bit like an outsider. Now, why? Maybe because you've been working too hard. That could be you're looking around and comparing to others and saying, oh, I've been working so hard, I'm missing this, that, and the other. But this is about the comparing yourself to others, or for some reason feeling like an outsider, like maybe you're not even good enough, even though that you're really kind of on top of the world, that you still feel like you have to to go get more, right? So you need to ask yourself that. That could be something that you work on during this next cycle, is what is this need for more? What is it trying to fill up inside of you? So something to think about. At the root of your situation is the Emperor. So it could just be that you're in this leadership role. You're someone who has to be there for others. You're building something. You've got this clear vision. Um, and that's kind of at the root of it, is you might have to be the example for other people. But do remember that if you're comparing and if there's something that's not really working, that's going to shine through in that example. And it could be that you're working so hard that there's something that you're not doing. So, right, if you're so focused on the material, it might be that you're neglecting family things or relationship things or people around you. So, I'm not saying that specifically, but it could be that when, a lot of times when we're out of balance because we're so focused on one thing, something else kind of falls to the wayside. So, that could be why this outsider card, that could be why you're feeling that. It might just be kind of coming to a place where you're recognizing that. But remember, if you're a builder, you are, again, being the example for other people as well. And you want to be an example in all the good ways, all the different ways. So it could be something that you just need to work on a little bit. What is in your recent past here is the Knight of Wands. So you have moved forward in whatever this endeavor is very passionately and really given it your all. And again, the hard work is paying off. You're just starting to question a few of the other things that maybe are around you. So, and that's good. That's a good thing to be doing. Changes don't happen unless we look around and question and ask those questions of ourselves all the time. Kind of do that evaluation, which again, that's the energy that the moon is in right now. So, perfect timing for you. What's on your mind this week? Is the Page of Cups. So maybe you're just lacking a little bit of fun and laughter because you have been working so hard, and that will make you feel like an outsider. And again, if you're leading other people, you want them to see that you can laugh it off a little bit and have a sense of humor and learn and have a good time. That hard work is hard work, but hard work can also be fun and be jovial. You don't have to be so serious all the time and really, head down and be a curmudgeon. And sometimes hard work is actually fun and rewarding. So make sure that you're keeping your sense of humor about you this week. What is just ahead of you is the devil. So here come these insecurities and false truths. So this thing that's coming up for you might not even be real. It could just be something that you're sensing. I call that the comparison is the thief of joy card. So you might just be happy where you are. And this thing comes up because it is a little bit of self doubt that the devil's throwing in there. This could be just the insecurity, that you might have this fear of failure around you because you have been working so hard at this and you do want to be in that King of Pentacles energy. But again, keeping your sense of humor about you. Nobody wants to be around someone who's just about work, 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 work. And Cancers, you guys do tend to be very passionate, and you don't really communicate feelings as much as maybe another sign might. So make sure that you are communicating that hard work can be fun, and don't let this devil come in and bring in false things and false insecurities. That stuff isn't real. Make sure that you're kind of just checking with the people around you to make sure everybody's okay, um and not latching on to those false truths that the devil can just get in your ear and be negative about, right? In your advice position here is the Magician. So the Magician is asking you, what is it that you want to do and change and be and move forward? It looks like if you've got the Pentacles under control, maybe it's your emotional life, and maybe it is carrying this cup around and having more of a sense of humor, being lighter, letting everyone around you know how you feel about them. Maybe there's something that you need to learn, or maybe some of this passion that you started, whatever you're working on with, you need to remember that. Like the remember why. Why did you start this project in the first place? If this happens to be something work related or creative related, when you sometimes you get in the mix of it and you are being very successful, but you kind of forget the roots, you forget why it was you were doing it. So the advice is to really look around and ask those questions. This is about being aware. This is about being fully conscious in whatever endeavors that you're working on. And the Magician is there to remind you of that. Be conscious, and what is it that you're working on? And what element do you need? Choose it and let's go. Let's get to work. What is beyond your control this week is the Lover's card. That I've seen this now in almost all the readings, I think. Definitely Taurus and Gemini had the Lover's card. Beyond your control is that you do have some support here when it comes to romantic relationships, or this beyond your control that you need to at least focus on this too. This could be why you're feeling like an outsider, like all work, no play, uh, you know, makes Jack not very fun. What was that line from the movie? So make sure you're looking around and having fun. Sorry, my nose is very itchy today. Having fun with the people around you, and this includes your partner. And it just make sure that you know why you're doing all that work, right? Why did you start this? What was the passion driver at the beginning? Okay, what is your secret desire, or what are you trying to avoid too? Interesting. Are you trying to avoid coming together in friendship and partnership, and maybe you're just too busy? So don't be so busy that you can't enjoy life around you, Cancer. Your hard work is paying off, but maybe you're feeling like an outsider because of that. It's like you realize that, oh, I worked too hard and I didn't have any fun. So have some fun, lighten up, right? And your outcome position is, yeah, if you don't, this could come to some sort of exchange where maybe with this partner, maybe with friends around you, the people are not, that there is some conflict. Fives are about our conflict, and this could be, um the people, whatever words were exchanged, the people in the back there are not very happy about it. So what is it? All work, no play. That saying is still coming back to me. Makes Jack a very dull boy. Is that what it is? I can't remember the rest of the line for some reason, but make sure that you're enjoying yourself as you're moving along. Yes, you can have goals and whatever, but you need to take time for yourself, time for the people around you. Also, Cancer. What is hidden from you here at the bottom of the deck? Yeah, a little bit of heartbreak with the Three of Swords. So this could be that maybe this might be where you're headed next week if you can't resolve these things and take a little time for the people around you, Cancer. I think that's really a good message for you. All right, let's get a final message from the Soul Oracle deck. Final message from the Soul Oracle deck says, embrace your power. Embrace your power. And here we're down here with this Emperor. Remember that, if you are leading other people, or if this could be you being the leader in this relationship or the leader in your family, any sort of leader builder skill, remember that you're influencing others. Other people are watching you and probably trust you to know what to do and how to make the right decisions, but make sure you're making those correct decisions in all areas of your life. All right, what does Cancer need to do in the way of self-care this week? Self-care for Cancer this week, and the card is called Change, which I don't remember this card, so I'm excited to read it. This is a one that I see a lot of. A resistance to change is a resistance to life itself. Open your heart and mind to new beginnings. Interesting that that came at this time. A resistance to change. I think you need to have a little bit more fun, Cancer. It seems like you've just really been buckled down and hard at work at something, but remember why you're doing it. Remember, there was some passion that brought you into it. There's other people around you. Don't let the devil get in your ear. Make sure you're having fun and being a little bit lighthearted. So, Cancer, thank you so much for being here. I do hope there's something that you can take from this reading and use in a positive way in your life this week. If you're comfortable sharing, of course, drop me a comment down below and let me know if anything resonated, or if you had any questions. I'd be happy to answer those for you as well. Also, excuse me, if you like my reading style, hitting like and subscribe really helps my channel. Thank you so much in advance for doing that. I really do appreciate that. And it helps you find me next week. Come on back and let's see where this story goes. So thanks so much, Cancer. Good luck, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.